ABC 10 News at 7 starts now.
A group going door to door tonight in an effort to get more San Diegans vaccinated against COVID-19. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo is live in City Heights, where the group just finished walking that neighborhood. Laura.
Yes, and this was all hosted by a group called the Employee Rights Center. They were all volunteers, and they spent the last 3 hours in the City Heights neighborhood passing out flyers like this one here. Now, they told me that they picked City Heights because less than 55% of the neighborhood here is vaccinated, and they want to get that number up. They walked door to door, canvassing the neighborhood, hoping to encourage those that aren't vaccinated to go out and get that COVID-19 vaccine. This is actually the 5th time that they've walked this neighborhood, but they tell me there are so many people that are still unvaccinated, they keep coming back. They also tell me this area has been hit hard with the virus and that they are just trying to help.
We lost a lot of jobs, we lost family members, we're losing our freedom, but with freedom comes responsibility. And the responsibility is to get the vaccination, to use our masks, to take our elderly people to get the vaccine, to inform our community.
And the push here is to get people to go to a vaccine clinic that they are having on August 28th. So again, they were passing out these flyers that have the address and the information. They also tell me that there will be nurses on hand at that vaccine clinic to answer any questions or any doubts that people might still have about the COVID-19 vaccine. Reporting live in City Heights, Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Laura. And calls are growing to investigate a social media post reportedly made by a member of the San Diego Police Department about mask and vaccine mandates. ABC 10 News reporter Adam Rakusin looks into the post that has many people upset.
On its website, the San Diego chapter of the NAACP posted screenshots of what they described as a leaked post from the San Diego Police Officers Association online forum made by a San Diego police officer. We've blurred the post because we have not independently confirmed it. According to the NAACP, the post mentions dangerous rhetoric about the COVID-19 vaccines, masks, and testing. They say it also talks about Second Amendment rights and alleges there would be support of hundreds of officers in resisting the lawful government of our city and state if forced to get a vaccine, be tested, or wear a mask.
We have to act now. There's no urgency. If people don't wake up, we're going to lose this fight. The fact that he actually mentioned that the Second Amendment will be taken away from us caused me great pause.
Prince Seifa Boachi is with the NAACP San Diego branch. He says the rhetoric in the post is alarming.
Seeing this post really validates that this is something that the mayor of San Diego has to take action on.
In a statement, the spokesperson for the San Diego Police Department wrote in part, they're aware of the social media comment posted by an SDPD member regarding COVID-19 vaccinations. The post was made by one individual. The statement went on to say SDPD is reviewing this as a personnel matter to determine if the officer violated department policy. San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria says he's asked Chief Nisleit to review this matter and report back to him. In a statement, the mayor wrote, these views are not reflective of the city of San Diego or the San Diego Police Department, as we know a majority of our public safety personnel have already been vaccinated. As of Friday, City of San Diego employees are required to report their vaccination status. That has implications on who needs to wear a mask and where, but there's no current mandate requiring vaccination or testing. Adam Rakusin, ABC 10 News.
The department says the data on how many officers and employees are vaccinated is pending.
San Diego County jails are once again off limits to visitors. 73 inmates tested positive for COVID this week at the Central Jail, George Bailey Detention Facility, and the East Mesa Reentry Facility. So for now, jails are banning outside visitors. The inmates who tested positive are being isolated, and the housing units they came from are in quarantine. The vast majority of the cases are asymptomatic or mild. And San Diego has a new one-day high for COVID cases. The county reported 1,700 new cases today, but that may be partly because so many more people are getting tested. Today's numbers come from 20,000 tests, which is about 3,000 more than what we've been averaging. Our 7-day test positivity rate actually ticked down a little bit today to 8.3%. and there were no new deaths.
A Spring Valley father of 4 has lost his battle with COVID. As ABC 10 News reporter Michael Chen discovered, the man learned he was going to become a father again just days before he passed.
Lester Bartolome first felt sick more than 3 weeks ago.
He had a headache. He really couldn't get out of the bed.
Fiance Yasmin Soto says he tested positive for COVID, and a week and a half later, he was hospitalized with COVID pneumonia. Nearly a week after he was admitted, Soto texted him a photo of her positive pregnancy test. The couple have 4 children, including a 1-year-old.
He was like, damn, we're having another kid. He was being funny, like always, but I can tell, he was happy to be a dad again.
4 days later, this past Monday, the two texted each other into the night.
I just told him, I love you. He told me he loved me. And I said, tomorrow you're going to have a better day. You're going to be breathing better.
2 hours later, Bartolome went into cardiac arrest and passed away at the age of 40.
Just feel like a part of me is missing,
Soto calls Bartolome funny and caring.
He was a hard worker. He loved his family.
Bartolome, diligent about wearing masks, worked 2 jobs, including one in pest control. The couple were planning to marry next year. Soto is vaccinated, but he was reluctant. He was concerned about side effects.
He didn't have any underlying condition. He wasn't worried about catching COVID. And, God forbid he did. He's like, my body, I have a high immune system. I could fight it off.
A grieving Soto now urging the hesitant to look into getting vaccinated.
I can go back and change everything. Or if we can, have a redo button, protect yourself and your family, because it hurts when your family is broken.
Michael Chen, ABC 10 News.
You can stay on top of any new developments with coronavirus by downloading the 10 News app. A free version is available in the App Store.
A man who brought Molotov cocktails to last year's destructive protest in La Mesa will spend nearly 3 years in prison. Zachary Karras brought those explosives to the May 30th, 2020 protest, but didn't use them. In May, a jury found him guilty of possessing an unregistered destructive device. Today, a judge sentenced him to 33 months behind bars. Karras has already filed an appeal. And the state is looking to place another sexually violent predator in the East County. This is 68-year-old Michael Martinez. He was convicted 4 times between 1979 and 2004 for crimes including child molestation. Now, the California Department of State Hospitals is recommending he be released into a home in Ranchita. The public can weigh in at a hearing September the 20th. Comments can also be emailed to the Safe Task Force from August 16th to the 30th.
There are serious questions being raised about whether a local sheriff's deputy actually collapsed from fentanyl exposure. The sheriff's department is now revealing that no toxicology tests were performed on the deputy. The department also released more video from both body cameras of the incident. Deputy David Five Eye collapsed while inspecting a car that contained fentanyl. The department initially sent out video of the incident as an example of the dangers of fentanyl, but some medical toxicologists think that it may have been a severe panic attack instead. From the video, it's not clear if Five Eye came into physical contact with the drug.
San Diego County is getting more diverse according to new data from the U.S. Census. We're taking an in-depth look at how that may impact elections. The demographics in our region have shifted since 2010. People who identify as white only made up less than 50% of the county's population. That's down from 64% a decade ago. Those who identify as Asian, they grew by 22%. The Hispanic or Latino population grew by 13%. UCSD political science professor Thad Kauser says those numbers will likely impact our upcoming elections.
So we normally see large increases in California and in San Diego in the number of Latino and Asian American elected officials as the new districts sort out, and that gives a kind of a political reset and a chance for today's population to choose a more reflective and representative set of leaders.
Census data shows all but one of the congressional districts in San Diego County saw an increase in Latinos who are eligible to vote. All but 2 districts saw a decline in the white population.
You see in San Diego, nearly every congressional district becoming more and more Latino and having fewer and fewer white eligible voters. And that's going to mean an increasing push to have the representatives that we're sending to Sacramento, to Washington, D.C. look more and more like the communities that they're representing.
A 14-member commission will now begin the redistricting process in California based on the census data. California already lost a House seat for the first time ever after it was determined our state's population growth is slowing.